Hey girlies, it's Tammy. Welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I have good news. I bought a new mic, so I'm hoping that you guys can't hear any of my neighbor's shenanigans because I've had just about enough and I'm this close to moving house, okay? Which would be a shame because I really love my house. But anyways, I'm gonna be showing you guys my go-to date night look. This was the look that I was wearing in my MAC Tiana Taylor video and I got so many like compliments on the look, but I'm gonna talk you guys through it even though today is one of the hottest days. Well, it's been like a hot week here in the UK and I honestly feel like I'm in Spain or Greece. It's been so hot, but the only bad thing about the UK is that we have no AC anywhere because it's usually cold. So when it does actually get hot around here, we have no air, like no AC, no nothing. So I may be taking little fan breaks throughout this video just to like cool myself down because all of my windows are closed. But anyways, I'm just rambling. Let me go ahead and apply my lip balm. So I use the Fenty Beauty, I always do this before I start my videos, the Fenty Beauty Slip Shine in the shade Cookies and Cocoa, and I've actually finished it, guys. This is the bottom of the tube, but I have purchased another one, so I do have a backup, don't worry about me. So yeah, I put this on at the beginning. It's melted. Oh my gosh, just like me, it's like melting. So we're gonna go ahead and start with primer. This is my favorite go-to primer at the moment. This is the Too Faced Primed and Poreless. I use this every single day of my life. If I'm not using this, I'm using the Laura Mercier Blurring Primer. They both kind of do the same thing, but this one is a little bit more mattifying and I just absolutely look at it. It's nearly finished. It's halfway through. I just love it on my skin type, which is oily if you don't know, and I like to kind of blend it in with a brush. This is like a duo fiber brush. I just feel like it spreads it evenly, and especially because my hands tend to get a little bit sweaty now with all of this heat, I just prefer to blend it in with a brush. I've noticed this primer definitely helps my makeup last longer because there's certain foundations that I don't really use on an everyday basis because they're so kind of radiant and dewy or glowy, but this primer definitely mattifies it down and make it last longer on my oily skin, so love that. So on that day I was actually wearing the NARS Natural Radiant foundation, and this I don't really use on long days because even though it's called long wear foundation, I just found that it didn't last that long on my skin type, but paired with this Too Faced primer, gorgeous combination, definitely lasts really well on oily skin. So I used the shade Macao. So this shade's not 100% right for me. It is a little bit dark, but the shade before this has like a pink undertone, and I have tried that shade on myself, but I don't like it as much as this one. So this one, even though it's a little bit dark, it has the right undertone, so I just prefer to go for this. And look at that coverage, guys, but also the finish is not normally this matte. It's because of the primer. So before it was like, I love the NARS foundation, but the formula just doesn't last well on my skin type, but now paired with the primer, it just lasts really well, and I definitely feel more comfortable going for it when I'm going out for date night and stuff, which I have gone out once on date night with Bae since lockdown has ended. Been out a couple times with the girls, you know how it is. Just a little bit easier to go on girls' nights out because he can watch the kids, of course, but when we go on date night we have to find someone to watch the kids. But yeah, we went to Reading recently, which we went shopping, and when I tell you guys, it was my first time being out during the day and everyone was wearing masks because of course mask is mandatory now. It's a different world, if you know what I mean. It's so different to before lockdown, but it's like they had security outside of the shopping center making sure everyone was wearing masks, which I'm grateful for because it is for everyone's safety. But it's so weird, especially because it was my first time going out and seeing everyone in masks. But I hope you're all doing well anyway, health wise, mentally, all of that stuff. So I'm gonna finish up my face before, because the eyes are so simple, I'm gonna finish up my face before moving on to eyes. Taking the Oma Beauty Stay Woke concealer in the shade Honey Honey, which is too light for me. I wish I got a darker shade, but because this foundation is a little bit too dark for me, it kind of ends up balancing it out. And I'm not gonna let this concealer go to waste because I believe I paid £21 for it, so it will get used, okay? I just kind of concentrate that on the inner part of my eye, and because I use a brush to spread my concealer, I feel like it just spreads really well. And I use this Morphe, I always get questions, Morphe E49 brush to blend out my concealer. I just love the shape of it and the kind of fluffiness. It just blends really well. So I'm just gonna blend that out underneath my eye and also carry it on top of my lid. This look is actually really quick to do as well. There's not like 10 million steps, mostly because it's too damn hot to be wearing too much makeup, but maybe when it hits winter, I'll add back in my cream contour and steps like that. But right now, I don't like wearing like tons of layers. I don't even kind of bake anymore. I baked for the first time in ages the other day, and I didn't like how it looked on my skin. It just looked really heavy. I feel like because of the heat, you just want to wear as less makeup as possible. Well, I do anyway. Most people actually this time of year do end up going for like a tinted moisturizer type of look, which that's not my style, so I won't be going that light, but I definitely use less products. I am not a summer person unless I'm by a beach with a pina colada. Actually, pina colada is not my thing. Frozen strawberry daiquiri, but when I'm just working or in my house, I really don't like the heat. I need some AC, I need some air, especially when you're sleeping at night. It just feels like it gets 10,000 degrees hotter. So I am really excited for autumn, winter, more autumn than winter. I don't like snow and everything, but last year it didn't snow in the UK as far as I can remember. But I'm not a snow person. I'm more of like a jumper. Jumper season is my favorite. Not jacket season, jumper season. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and set this, and I'm gonna use the Vichy Dermablend powder, and this is the translucent powder, so I'm just going to take it on a brush. It's a really finely milled powder. It's one of those powders that kind of into the air, really nice and fine. So I take a little bit on my brush and then I pat it into the lid to kind of take off excess, and then I dab it underneath my eyes to set that area. I really do like the matte look on me personally. I just feel like it makes my skin look a little bit more flawless and not as porous. Porous, is that the word? I just find that powder really blurs my pores and my skin and just gives me like a flawless filter finish. So yeah, I do like powder. Most times I don't even set the outer edges of my face and it stays the same throughout the day. So I can imagine you normal dry skin types, you know, just putting on makeup and looking the same at the end of the day. It's not fair. It's not fair. Sometimes I watch people's like foundation and powder reviews and stuff, and they go away for the day, come back 8 hours later, and they look the same. And I'm just like, I wonder what this lifestyle, I wonder what it feels like to be God's favorite. So for the rest of my face, I'm going to take my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish in the shade 3. And I'm just going to use this to kind of set the outer edges, just because when I go in with my bronzer, I don't want it kind of sticking to any foundation area. I've just noticed most of the products that I'm using are quite expensive. Let me know if you want me to do a drugstore version of this look, that kind of soft glam date night look. Okay, so moving on to eyes, I used this palette for that look, and this is by a friend of mine called Lois. She's released Lois Cosmetics. They have 2 eyeshadow palettes. This one is the neutral one called Rose Metal. Gorgeous design and gorgeous colors on the inside. If you do like rosy tones, really gorgeous quality as well. Like the shimmers are really nice and soft. The mattes blend like a dream as well. I mean, I'm slightly biased because like I said, she is a friend of mine that I've known for years, but it is still a quality product and it's only £20. It comes with a mirror. It feels nice and weighty, and the actual shadows themselves perform beautifully. So definitely support. It's a small business. I'm gonna go in with, so the 2 shades that I used that day is Chivalry, this kind of transition brown shade, and then this shade called Devotion, this dark brown here on the lash line and kind of in the outer V to smoke it out. And of course guys, I'm using my brushes from my website. This is the Crystal Clear Amethyst sets. Both of the eye brush sets have been restocked because they keep selling out, and I'm trying to keep them in stock, but I love that they're selling out, but also I don't want to be known as the shop that never has stock, do you know what I mean? So I keep bringing them back, but yeah, they're back in stock. I've ordered double quantity this time, so if you did want to get your hands on the brushes, make sure you check that out. I'm not going to use any primer just because I don't want strong pigment with this look. It's just more about a soft diffused look. So starting with the shade Chivalry, and as you guys can see, even with no primer on top of a set concealer, it's just a beautiful shade. So yeah, I'm just blending and buffing that into the crease as my transition. Oh guys, I wanted to ask you your thoughts on the new Be Perfect Carnival 3 palette. I have been told by the brand that I am going to get it in PR, so I am really excited to review that for you. Hopefully today or tomorrow I'll get it in the post, so I can definitely review that, so you can hopefully decide if you want it before it sells out, because I know that thing is going to go super fast. Don't worry guys, I'm sure it will be back in stock. It's not a limited edition thing, so don't feel pressure if you can't afford it right now to buy it. But yeah, I'm going to go go ahead and do a review on it. I'm really curious to know about crossovers because they're saying that it's 100% new shades, but of course I can see like a pink and a purple and like a neon green in the new palette, which are in the old palette, not the old palette but the version, the XL Pro. So I'm really curious to see if they have kind of changed something about it, made it lighter, made it darker, made it a different undertone, those type of things. So I will be doing comparison swatches to the XL just so you guys are informed. If you do have the XL, is it really necessary to get the new Carnival 3 if there's like kind of crossover shades? But overall, I absolutely love the look of the palette. It has every single color you could ever want in a palette. I think by the time this video is out, it should be out already, so let me know if you bought it. By the way, I'm just buffing that same shade underneath my lower lash line. Okay, so going in with Devotion, which is almost like a blackened dark brown, which I love because it's not black. If you don't want to go straight up black on your outer V, you can easily do a soft dark smoky brown on the lash line, which is what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna start on the outer V and kind of tap that across the lash line so we get a nice smoky wing going on. Of course, when people do looks like this, sometimes they just use tape to kind of make sure that that shape is sharp, but I'm not trying to do any sharp lines today. Just want to kind of make a nice diffused wing, and I'm also going to kind of bring it at an angle so it kind of goes inwards as well, so it's not just a wing, it's more like a smoky outer V made into a wing. I hope this is making sense. If it's not, it's because of the heat, okay? It's hard to make sense when sweat is dripping down your back. But yeah, so I'm just kind of smoking it out and then smoking it in as well. And just like that, that is how easy it is, guys. No precision, no tape, no cleanup with concealer, but you still get a nice smoky effect. I'm so useless at doing this eye, I swear. You know, you just have your good eyeshadow eye. It's this one for me. This one just always lets me down. The disappointment in the family. Tiny dab of that right on the outer edge of the bottom lash line as well. So yeah, that is basically it for the eyeshadows. Literally 2 shades, easy to kind of throw on and smush together. Smush, you know. Smush together, blend together. So let's go ahead and move on to bronzer. I really want to use the Charlotte Tilbury. I used this once yesterday, but I haven't used it on camera yet. Airbrush bronzer in the shade number 4. So I believe this is the darkest shade. It has a really nice kind of warm undertone. This packaging is just so big and bougie. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply that. Oh my god, it's sticking because I'm sweating. Nice shade, really nice shade for me actually. Yeah, that's adding a nice bronze. I'm gonna take my palette Paradise Glow, my collaboration with Revolution, and I'm gonna go into Tropical Queen, which is the orangey blusher in here. And I'm just gonna blush my cheeks a little bit. Now to lock this makeup in, I'm going to go in with my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. I've really become a Charlotte Tilbury fan. I mean, the powder, the bronzer and the spray, definitely on my radar. This is so good if you want your makeup to last all day, especially in this heat. It just really locks everything in and it stops it from like moving around and melting and separating. It's just a really good setting spray. But I have mentioned before, if you spray a little bit too much, once it dries down, it does feel a little bit tight on your face. So just bear that in mind if you have dry skin. But if you have oily skin and you want your makeup to last, grab the little one just so you can give it a try before buying the big one. And I've had this little one for a while now and it's not even halfway yet, and I use it every day, so it will last you a little while. How much is in here? 34 milliliters. The only thing I'm not in love with is the sprayer on here. It's kind of stiff and it kind of squirts out a little bit. I wish it was more of like a like a mister, do you know what I mean? It's more, it definitely is a sprayer. Next, I'm gonna go in with my lashes, and this is from my brand MAKEUPBYTAMMI.com in the style Louise. I was wearing this style in that video as well, so I'm gonna go ahead and apply these and I'll be right back. Okay, so lashes are on. I'm gonna go back into the palette and I'm gonna take the shade Self Love, which is this gorgeous rose gold shade, and I'm gonna pop that onto the inner corner to brighten. If you did want to just keep it a matte look, you could easily just go in with this peachy shade right here called One and Only and just put that there and it would give like a brightening matte effect. So last but not least, of course, lips. I'm gonna go in with my lip set with Revolution, only because it's still available on ASOS, so I don't feel bad using it. When it was sold out everywhere, I kind of felt bad using it, but now it is available on ASOS if you guys did want to get your hands on it. So it comes with a lip liner and 2 lip glosses. I'm gonna be using Muse today, which is the lighter of the 2. I'm gonna start with the lip liner and just outline my lips. Kind of smush that in. Me and this word smush. And then taking the lip gloss, which is a perfect nude. So that's it, guys. Is that it? Let me put some earrings in. By the way, I tend to get my hoops from like AliExpress or Primark, just any cheap hoops really. They usually come in like a pack with different sizes. Let me show you this. So they come with like, this one's from AliExpress. I'll leave a link down below if I remember. So it comes with different size hoops in there, really cheap and affordable. Of course, they do start turning color after a while, but I find that they last pretty long for me, just because they're not touching your skin that much, so they don't really change color that fast. I find like with necklaces and stuff, I do like to spend a little bit more money because they're touching your skin. They do tend to turn a bit faster, but with earrings I'm happy to go cheap and cheerful. And rings as well, I do like to buy Pandora rings, which are like kind of £40 per ring, which is not too bad because they don't turn. Like I've had these for months and they haven't even like lost their gold or anything. So yeah, that is it for today's video. I did want to add something new to my video, so at the end of the video I want to kind of do like a comment spotlight from my last video. So just pick a comment from my last video and kind of shout you guys out, just so we're more interactive, because I do read all of your comments and try to reply to as many as I can. I appreciate you guys taking time out of your day to not only watch my videos but also comment and like and share and all of that good stuff that you do. So I just wanted to take a moment to appreciate some of you. So Natalie TSM05, shout out to you, girl. Thank you so much for your comment. She said yes, and the award for the best dramatic reaction to makeup goes to me. Well, she said Tammi Clark. Love your face when you didn't want to take off your favorite. Love it. God bless you continually in grace and favor in abundance. Thank you so much. That is so sweet. God bless you too. But yeah, that is it for today's video. Make sure you go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Make sure you are subscribed, and I'll catch you guys in my next one. I hope the audio was okay in this video, and I hope you weren't able to hear all of the shenanigans going on outside. So I hope this is more like enjoyable to watch, and yeah, I'll catch you guys in my next one. Bye.